Oh no, what did I just do? Did I ignore her? No, I didn't do that. Oh god, what do I do now? I was feeling very uneasy while confronting her, but I want to talk to her. Wait a minute, what's happening with me? I mean, since when I've become so troubled and restless? I was never like this. Is this all happening because of Vian? Has she made me this twitchy? Has she changed me? I asked myself, and an involuntary smile beamed over my lips. It really was her who had started making me sweat and fluster around herself. But what did I just do? I shouted as I grabbed my hair and started roaming around the room. I ignored her. Just how could I do that? I continued with my self-scolding session and dropped my body on the bed. I would definitely talk to her tomorrow. I whispered to myself and closed my eyes in frustration, exhaustion, and whatnot. And I didn't even realize when I slipped into a deep and sound sleep. Bhabhi, you called me? You asked Vaidehi as soon as you stepped in to enter the terrace. Yeah, I did. I need your help actually. She worriedly replied, and you couldn't know from where. Well, but where are you? You asked as you stepped ahead and ventured your eyes around to spot her. I'm here, Vian. You again heard her voice, and when you followed that, you noticed just a hen, and she was waving while sitting on the ground behind some planters. Bhabhi, what on earth you are doing there? You asked, being flustered upon seeing her sitting on the ground. My nosepin, Vian, I dropped it, she exclaimed and looked at you desperately, making you widen your eyes. What? Your nosepin that mom gifted you? You asked, being shocked, and sat on the ground beside her. She vigorously nodded her head while running her palms over the ground to feel her nosepin. Vian, what would I do? It was my favorite. She grabbed her hair and shook her head in utter desperation. Bhabhi, don't worry, we'd find it. You assured her and kept your hand on her shoulder to calm her perplexed state. She hummed and nodded her head weakly, and as you both were looking for the nosepin, you both heard a muffled and painful whimper, as if someone whined in pain. Is someone here? You uttered as you looked at Vaidehi, while she shrugged her shoulders before getting up. Oh, Theo, what happened? Vaidehi asked, being flustered as soon as she got up, making you startle a bit. Theo, you wondered and got up as well, only to find Theung there, limping on one of his feet slightly. You widened your eyes and rushed towards him as Vaidehi followed you. What happened, Theung? You got hurt somewhere? Vaidehi asked as she tried to figure out the cause of his sudden limping. Nothing much, Bhabhi. I guess I stepped on a nail or something. He spoke up and tried to look at his foot. Oh, here is it. But what it is? They wondered as he took out a nail-like thing from his foot, on which he probably stepped. But as he looked towards you both, he got a bit flustered as he found both of you looking at the thing with wide open eyes and mouths. Vian, my nosepin, Vaidehi uttered unknowingly, making you nod weakly, as the thing Theung was holding was nothing but a nosepin. Sorry, was it yours? He asked, being a bit embarrassed, as he, though unknowingly, just ruined the nosepin by stepping on it. Yeah. Vaidehi nodded her head as she blinked her eyes a few times and looked at Theung before taking the nosepin from him. I'm really sorry, I ruined it. He apologized sincerely and bowed down a bit, making Vaidehi shook her head. No, it's my fault. I should have been careful. She spoke out, somewhat unconsciously, as her eyes never left the nosepin. Why, and I'm going downstairs. I'd ask your bhaiya if he could get it fixed. Whether he looked at you suddenly and spoke out, making you look at her. Oh, yeah, sure, Bhabhi. You nodded your head in response. She sighed and rushed towards the stairs. And then, there were left just you both, making it harder for both of you. You both were again kind of ignoring each other's presence. And again, you decided to break the invisible wall that was preventing you two to interact. The weather is pretty nice, isn't it? You asked and wandered your eyes around before looking at him. Yeah, it is. He spoke up in a low voice and flashed a flustered smile. You too smiled, and that was honestly a forced smile. You broke the eye contact and looked around, and so did he. What on earth has happened to him? Why is he acting so weird? You wondered and realized that your heart was beating faster due to an unusual fear. Doesn't he want to marry me? Is he forced? A sudden negative thought rushed through your mind, making you widen your eyes anxiously. And before you could push that thought away, you heard him calling you. Actually, I have to make a call, so I'm heading downstairs. He spoke up and smiled a bit. You raised your brows and hummed as you couldn't hear him. I have to make a call, so I'm heading downstairs. You wanna come? He further asked, making you nod your head. Yeah, sure, you may go. I will stay here a little more. You replied and looked around, making him sigh. He nodded his head and went towards the stairs to head downwards. And as he left, you sighed and sat on the marble platform. Your heart suddenly got heavier. A sudden pulse of anxiety and desperation enveloped you. Though you didn't like it, but that negative thought was gradually taking over your mind. What if he really didn't want to marry you? What if he really was forced to marry you? That sudden thought wasn't for no reason, obviously. You sensed a change in his behavior. He had surely changed, and that change didn't seem to be positive at all. You let out a heavy breath and got up before heading downstairs. Why, what are you? Bhabhi uttered as soon as she entered my room, but she stopped and looked at me with a surprised look. You are still on the bed? Get up, girl, we are leaving in a few hours. She exclaimed and shook me as I was sitting nonchalantly on the bed while surfing through the internet. Bhabhi, I'm just getting up. I replied with an indifferent shrug without looking at her. Why, you're not getting up. Get up already. She further spoke in a more stern way, making me roll my eyes and throw up with the phone. Now go. Your bhaiya is calling you, she said and rushed outwards. I sighed and headed outside as well. Bhaiya, you called me? I asked him as I came outside and walked towards Anirudh bhaiya. Yeah, Vayan. Actually, I'm going to help them in loading the luggage in the car. So, would you cover these seats with the covers? He asked and stepped out of the car as he was doing the covers. Yeah, sure bhaiya, don't worry, I'd do that. I spoke up and smiled, making him smile back. He nodded his head and walked towards the boot of the car. Teo, I'll be back in few minutes. I guess mom is calling me. Anirudh bhaiya spoke up as we both were loading the luggage. Yeah, sure. I nodded my head and smiled, making him smile and leave. I looked down at the remaining bags inside before loading them as well. And as I was done doing that, I stretched my back, making a slight groan leave my mouth. I breathed in deeply for a few times and started wandering aimlessly. And as I was roaming, my feet stopped as I saw Vian. She was standing a few meters away from me while looking at me only, with a sudden desperation in her eyes, as if she was confirming whether I would take notice of her or not. And just like usual, my heart started to race. It was fluttering rapidly, as if it again was insisting on me to break eye contact with her. No, not again. You can't ignore her again, Taehyung. I thought while clenching my fist, as I couldn't ignore her presence anymore. I knew that it might hurt her heart, and I definitely couldn't do that. And after mustering up my shattered courage, I raised my hand up to wave at her with a smile on her lips. My smile grew wider as she too smiled a bit and raised her hand, though hesitantly. I let out a sigh of relief and started walking towards her, and so did she. But our smiles faded away as a sudden ring of phone interrupted us. I looked down at my phone and squeezed my eyes as it was Mom, and I just couldn't ignore her call. "Excuse me," I whispered as I looked up at her and found her smiling bitterly while looking at me. She turned around and started walking away after giving me a slight nod, making me heave a heavy sigh. And when I took a glance at my phone again, it wasn't ringing anymore. I swiftly looked up at her direction to call her back, but she wasn't there anymore. "I'm really sorry, Vian," I uttered as I knew I again neglected her, even though unwillingly, but I did that. I sighed and headed inside with a hope to get another opportunity to interact with her.